So we have 4 victims who are going to go in front of the lions. The lions do not know who the victims are yet. And each victim is going to present for 5 minutes, making their pitch, standing about here with the microphone. And then I'll keep a watch on the time. And after that, we'll have 5 minutes of questions and answers. And the plan then is that after, say, half an hour, the dragons will retire for 15 minutes to make the decision. The minister, I believe, will be here making his presentation. And the lions will pick one winner. And the prize is a stand next March at the International Food Exhibition in London, where there's over 30,000 visitors. So this is a great opportunity for a company who's ready to export and to get their face in front of many people. So without further ado, I'm going to hand out just to each of the lions a note on who's who. So we've done this in alphabetical order, except for the first victim, because their product is frozen, so we felt they should go first. So can I call Niall Moloney, please, from Powcow.
Thanks, Andrew. Hi, Lions, how are you? My name is Niall, and I'm Managing Director and founder of Powcow, which is one of the world's first high-protein frozen yogurts. So where did I come up with the idea of Powcow? Well, I'm a qualified dietitian by background with a master's in sports and exercise nutrition. And after working with a lot of athletes, a lot of them were saying to me, look, Niall, we're sick of taking those horrible shakes, and if you tell me to eat another chicken breast, we're going to slap you across the face at once. So is there anything else out there that will help us meet our nutritional requirements? But at the same time, I was also seeing quite a lot of weight loss clients, and they were kind of saying to me, look, where I'm falling down is actually my treats, and I like my sweet stuff, but is there something out there with a better nutritional profile? So I have to admit, I'm a bit of an avid ice cream lover by background. So I bought an ice cream machine, and after 250 failed recipes, eventually came up with Powcow. So Powcow, each portion of Powcow contains less than 150 calories, 20 grams of protein, and is completely fat-free. What makes Powcow so special is that we make it with Greek-style strained yogurt, which is naturally high in protein, as well as giving it a thick, creamy texture. So on top of that, all our sugars in Powcow are non-refined sugars, and the sugar are coming from natural milk sugars as well as the honey that we use to sweeten it. Powcow is available in 150 ml tubs as well as 500 ml tubs, and it's available in 3 great flavors: passion fruit and mango, chocolate orange, and vanilla. So since launching to market in May of this year, we are now listed in over 50 SuperValu retailers. We are also listed in 25 independent stores, health food stores, as well as a number of cafes. And our success has grown and grown, and based on our growth, we've recently signed a distribution deal with a national distributor in who has over 1,400 shops across the island of Ireland. On top of that, we hope to be in 120 retailers by the end of November. And our retailer also has a distribution network out into the UK and also as far as UAE. As a result of that, we have actually secured a meeting with the buyer from a chain of supermarkets in the UAE later this month. In June of this year, we were successful in becoming one of the 20 semi-finalists in the Virgin Media Voom competition, which is a competition run across Ireland and the UK with 4,500 participants. As part of the competition, we pitched the head of Virgin Media Business, as well as had one-to-one interviews with some of Richard Branson's closest advisors. As a result of that, we had significant interest from the media across Ireland and the UK. And as well as being a participant on the FoodWorks program, we actually managed to secure a meeting with a buyer from a leading chain of health food stores in the UK. Since that meeting, they've been very positive towards the product, and they want to trial us in some of their new concession stores within a larger multiple supermarket in the UK in early next year. So how are we going to cope, I suppose, with the growing demand of the product? We have outsourced our manufacturing to a manufacturing facility in the Midlands, here in Ireland, who has known experience within the ice cream and frozen yogurt sector. Which this will allow us to grow at a significantly faster rate than having to invest large amounts into capital equipment ourselves.
1 more minute.
So, folks, I've been able to get a place at the International Food and Drinks Exhibition. We've been a massive amount of this to Pauco. As a cash-strapped, lean startup, it'll be extremely difficult for us to get the finances to be able to get to such an event. And being able to pitch to buyers and interact with some of the key influencers that come to that fair would make a massive difference to our company. So thanks very much, and I'll take any questions.
Is this live? Yeah, Niall, just thanks, great presentation. What's the sort of price point you're pitching yourself against your competitors?
So our smaller tubs are between 250 retail, 250 to €3, depending on the retail environment, and the larger 500ml tubs retail at between $5.99 and $6.50. In comparison to other healthier ice creams, most of them are coming in around the €6.50, €7 mark, so we're slightly under that. And in terms of the single-serve pots, we are more or less in line with our competitors, the healthier competitors. Yeah.
And is it listed and positioned against the Ben & Jerry's of the world, or how
Actually, we've interesting question. So where we initially went in and we were listed against the Ben & Jerry's, and what we actually found is we tried to go for dual placement within a lot of the stores. And there's a new range of healthier pizzas, protein pizzas, gluten-free pizzas. And when we position Pauco as an entirety of a healthier meal deal, or as an eating occasion, we've actually doubled our sales or tripled our sales in those supermarkets. So it seems to be doing much better when it's highlighted in either the health and wellness aisles or again with the healthier options.
Hi Niall, the product is great, by the way.
Thank you.
Just one of the key issues that faces a lot of people in this market, and ice cream particularly, is the huge preponderance of promotions. You see Ben & Jerry's, you see any of the premium markets or brands very, very much on promotion on a regular cycle. Have you built that into your costings, your margins?
Yeah, we have built it into our margins for projecting forward into year 2, and particularly within the UK market, it's an absolute necessity that you definitely have to be on promotion, even a starting promotion. So we have accounted for that within our margins going forward. What we're also trying to do, I suppose, is to drive brand awareness and drive brand loyalty as well, to try and, I suppose, build ourselves up. And we have hoping to launch a range of different formats for this, as well as a range of products across the board as well, so that we're not just going to be a frozen yogurt, but we'll have a range of yogurts and chilled yogurt drinks and that sort of thing as well.
Okay, thanks.
Niall, hi, great presentation.
Thanks.
Have you any research on the ice cream itself, how it's performing in terms of the consumer?
The ice cream market?
No, your brand.
And how it's performing in stores? Or
when consumers get their hands
on
it,
yes.
how they react to it.
So as part of the FoodWorks Board BIA program that we're currently on, actually we have ran a number of focus groups, and they have done deep dive, hour-long sessions with people off the street that have looked at the brand. We have got some great feedback. Our by far most popular flavors are passion fruit and mango, followed by our chocolate orange. And we have got some feedback and maybe some tweaks that we are looking at improving before we roll out to a larger scale. And it's been really interesting in terms of the brand messaging and the hierarchy of messaging that comes through on the brand. I think the overall feel is people love the brand, but there may need to be some minor tweaks in terms of the messaging going across. So,
are you any feedback on the yum factor? It's not as yummy and delicious as I would have expected. Did you get anything on that in the research?
I suppose it depends on the consumer. I guess our target market really is the health conscious 18 to 45-year-old male or female who are interested in the gym. And I guess they see it more as a treat without it being a super indulgent treat. So they're buying it for that reason, I suppose, rather than expecting it to be a Ben & Jerry's. Because I suppose it never will be a Ben & Jerry's just because of its content and its nutritional positioning.
Yeah, no, well done. Good presentation. Just talk me through that whole area of kind of a treat substitute, or you talk about it's aimed at athletes, and there is a trend that says, look, if you like something, have a treat, but don't compromise on your treat. So is it part of a regular diet that you're looking for people to do it, or is it a treat substitute? Because That would concern me if it was that.
So we are basically trying to offer an alternative to a healthier alternative to ice cream. So people can, rather than having your full tub of ice cream, you could have a full tub of this, and the idea is that you'll enjoy eating it, but it will also be better for you, if that makes sense.
I suppose is it a product that after doing your workout, you wouldn't normally be going for a tub of ice cream? So
well, not necessarily, but what we've actually trialed some mini freezers in gyms, and we have actually seen a good response rate from that, and actually have continual weekly orders coming in. So people are picking it up as an alternative to the gym, but at the same time, people are also picking it up in the supermarket as kind of an eating occasion as well.
Yeah, because there are a lot of ice cream substitutes out there. I'm thinking of brands like Nobo and people like that are Chili Moo, doing lots of things like that. So you've a crowded space to be in.
I've time for one more question, quickly, please, Joe.
To me, it would strike me it's an impulse product rather than a sort of take-home product. And I would suggest you need to get listed alongside the bars of chocolate, the healthy bars of chocolate. So I think you'll need to think about some sort of small freezer. You'll have to give it free to a retailer and get a good position in an impulse location. To me, I don't think it would fly if it's at the back of a shop. I don't think people will travel a huge distance for the healthy product. I agree with clustering it around healthy bars.
Thank you very much, Niall. Well done.
Great.
Time is up. Thank you. Round of applause for Niall.
How are we doing, Lions? Looking very well there. Kind of looking at two people here, so I'll try address both at the same time. So I recognise a few faces. We've met before, same in the audience. So anyway, so my name is Philip Martin. I'm the founder of Blanco Niño. For those of you who haven't heard of us, basically we make outrageously good corn tortillas and tortilla chips. We sell them into food service only at the moment, but our aspirations is to go into retail by next year. The thing about actually Blanco Niño is that we originally had, the thing about Blanco Niño is it wouldn't exist today if it wasn't my restaurant business, which is called Little Ass Burrito Bar. And the thing with Little Ass was actually it was originally intended to be a taqueria and not a burrito bar. And it was only when we couldn't find quality corn tortillas to make tacos that we said, feck it, we'll open up a burrito bar instead. And after about 2 years running the restaurants with 2 locations and a great team in place, and after winning the Taste of Mexico, my kind of attention came back to this original problem we had, in that we couldn't get corn tortillas. So I did the sensible thing, and I jumped on a plane and I went to Mexico, and I learned how they grew, harvested, and identified the right varieties of corn for tortilla chips. I then went to the Molinos, or mills, where I learned how they cooked and ground the corn using these volcanic stone grinders. And then I went to the tortillerias to learn how they turn the cooked ground corn into tortillas and tortilla chips. I then came back to Ireland, and I started putting together the pieces, and I quickly realised that we needed a shed load of money, a very big shed, and a really great team. And we executed what was, and still is, Ireland's most successful ever crowdfunding campaign. We then got an incredible team, including Jerry Rafferty, the former CEO of Dawn Fresh, and Aidan O'Byrne, the former CFO of Value Foods. Each of them probably has about 4 times my intellect, as well as experience and everything else. So they really transformed the progression of the business. We then found a lovely home in Clonmel, where we launched production in September of last year. Between September and December, we basically put the product out to the local market in Dublin and in around Ireland. And in January of this year, we got our first distribution with Funny Bones in the UK and Musgraves in Ireland. And now, 1 year on, as of last week, we have 3 distributors in Ireland, 3 in the UK, 1 in Finland, Germany, the Netherlands, Spain as of last week, and we're due to launch in France, Sweden, and Italy before the end of the year as well. So that's kind of brings us to where we are today. We've done a lot in the last year. It's been a serious treadmill. We're currently part of the Super Brands program, as we intend to launch our retail offering next July across Ireland and the UK, and with the intention of doing basically chips, because we currently don't sell these chips. This isn't obviously our packaging. This is just some sample packaging that we kind of fried them up yesterday and put them in. We just sell unfried chips, and the restaurants basically fry them on site. So that's where we are today. Obviously, I think everyone who will pitch today probably deserves the prize of the stand at the IFE as much as the next person. All I can say is that we would be incredibly grateful and delighted, and will make very good use of the stand should we get the honour of getting it. What I also say is that we, as any business with high ambitions and big plans for the future, we need a lot of friendly faces and financial backing. And over the next 6 to 12 months, we will be looking for investors. And if anyone is ever interested in, getting involved, we would be delighted. So that's me. That's the business. That's kind of where we came from, where we're going. I would love to handle your questions.
Thanks, Philip. We spoke some time ago when this was all a dream, and we spoke for a couple of hours, I think, or a couple of minutes on something that you didn't actually have a product to talk about. So it's great to see the product actually in front of us today. Yeah. Just to clarify, are you looking at this business as a food service or as a branded option? Where are you on that?
Well, we actually are branded in food service, but the initial ambition of the company was to be retail. But when we learned, as I think most food producers often do, of the scale of getting into food production, it was quite significant. So we said, okay, we'll go through food service first, where people understand the product much better, and we have a much, say, more rapid market rollout. Whereas retail requires a bit more education to get people to, one, use corn tortillas, and two, just kind of get them educated around paying a little bit more for a quality tortilla chip and all that side of it. But we are currently only in food service, but we're currently going through a plan to get into retail for July of next year.
And on your offering then for food service, are you achieving a significant premium versus what is available currently?
Yeah, quite a significant. So one of the nice things about the product is that there's no one in the European market doing our product in the same way. So this guy's making corn tortillas, okay? But there's a very big bloody difference between a corn tortilla made with whole, non-GMO corn that's been cooked and ground using volcanic stone grinders, and masa harina, which is basically corn flour. The Irish description I give is like comparing sachet mash from Tesco rehydrated with a few spuds from down the road. So it's the taste, texture, aroma is bloody miles apart, and we're very lucky in that it's not just me that says that. We have. I think which is evident from the rate at which we've been able to acquire distribution and wholesale partners. But we work with some of the best chefs in Mexican food across Ireland and Europe. We have Jamie Oliver's in the UK, and we're just working with some of just the most impressive guys internationally, really, right now. So we are. Sorry, we're achieving a premium. Alison, is to answer the question.
Yeah, but first of all, great product. It's delicious. But at the end of the day, it's all about the brand. So
do you know what I'd love to show you? 1 second. Do we have that box? Can you pass me that box, please? So, because obviously this doesn't really shout of the brand, okay? But what we have and how we've managed to make ourselves, there's a second one there, and here's actually instructions. So, what we've managed to do is a lot of the restaurants we actually work with put our brand on menu. And it's quite unique when there's no actual retail presence. So basically one side tells about the process, how the product's made, what you can do with it, and the other one is basically me banging around Mexico, drinking beers and eating tacos, but it's a good story. So,
and what about the fact that it's coming from Ireland?
Well, so actually the name is Blanco Nino, as you know, which basically means white kid. So we rather than pretending to be, a third generation family making tortillas, or generation Mexican family making tortillas in Clonmel, we kind of highlight the fact that we're kind of a pasty Irish lad who belted around Mexico for a while and is now, just really, really obsessed with the ingredients and doing it right. And I think that kind of level of honesty with the brand and not hiding it and actually accentuating it has worked really well for us. So I can see how,
I agree, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's fantastic.
All right. But we've taken it, so we've been quite successful in food service. And I think one of the reasons for that is we've had, having restaurants myself, I just know that you get berated with masses of bloody emails and these brochures that come in. So what we've actually done is we work quite collaboratively with our distributors. So we have these little brochures, which are postcard-sized brochures, and then we have like these vintage, like 1920s styled, like greetings from Blanco Nino, and you have like a little beach in the background from whatever. Sorry, I mean, go ahead.
I better ask this question, otherwise your time will be up and we won't
yes.
even get a chance. I suppose ultimately it's about your ability to be able to command a higher price because you're adding value. Now, I hear you telling a great story, and I see this leaflet, but if I'm sitting in a restaurant, they're going to be arriving in a tray, or they're going to be arriving in a little parcel. Where is the branding on that, on the product delivery? That's not clear to me.
It would actually just purely be on the menu, because the corn tortilla itself wouldn't have like Blanco Nino stamped onto it or anything like that. So it's purely on the restaurant side, and the restaurant wanting to, in the same way they have maybe Goo Bean treats, so in Ireland they will have Blanco Nino corn tortillas.
Okay.
That's where it purely is.
But price-wise, you've got to be charging a higher price for all that effort that you're doing. And what sort of price difference is there?
So I'll give an example, because we have a number of different products, but on, say, a 10-inch or 10 cm corn tortilla, okay? If you were to buy a Masa Harina corn tortilla, it would be about 8 cents. If you're buying our tortilla, it'd be about 10 cents. So, percentage-wise, it might seem like a lot, but for the chef who's going, we want a quality product, and this is going to impact that, say, item sale on the menu by 2 cents, which will have, less than maybe 1% of an impact on cost of goods. It's immaterial, really, for a more authentic, naturally gluten-free, taste bloody deadly,
Joe?
Just in terms of your product and getting the product in through your distribution system, what's the life of it? And is there any concern of expanding so quickly that you have a lot of off-sale product that you'll get returns back and bad debts?
It was a good question. Yeah, so the product's actually frozen. It's actually frozen into food service. So we get about a year from being frozen, and then once it's defrosted, it's about 10 days refrigerated. Okay. So your restaurant is able to get one box, and once they order the product once a week, they turn it over, and there's rarely an issue with wastage.
Just, I would say, great product, tastes lovely. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Philip, thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hall of Preserving. What we would like you to do is to have a nice little try of our samples here, just while we get kicked off. Our message that we want to give you today is that life really is too short to have boring food. Why bring ketchup to your dinner table every evening when you could bring our award-winning Bucky barbecue sauce? It has a splash of Buckfast and a little bit of chili, so it really will give you that spicy sausage dinner. You can also pimp up your goujons with our strawberry, chili, and prosecco relish. I think you're suffering from our wingnut. It's wingnut for a reason. It's not just for chicken wings. But really, what we want to say is a Mintel report suggests to us that 98% of consumers have used a table sauce within the last 6 months. At least a third of them have used up to 11 different table sauces, and our ambition is that Hollow will be at least one of these sauces.
So I just want to bring you back 2 years. Paula and I were friends and neighbours and stay-at-home mums. We felt the need to holler some days, but now we holla. This has been the ethos behind our brand: preserving food, preserving friendships, preserving our sanity. We really felt that we wanted to get back into our corporate work life, but all on our terms. So we went to our kitchens and we started to combine and dare to mix fun flavours into condiments. Some chili with a kick of Prosecco, some barbecue sauce with a kick of Buckfast to liven up the table. We combined our talents from our previous lives and our surnames to create brand Holla. And we do feel it is a brand worth shouting about. We started off, just as I say, in our kitchens, going to craft fairs, farmers markets, really getting a fix and a feel as to what the consumers wanted. And we feel that then we got some good validation from our consumers as to what they wanted to eat. We demand very quickly outstripped supply, and we then outsourced to a local manufacturer.
So who are our customers? Well, we like to think that our customers are you, the sophisticated urbanite, but they're also the student that drinks Buckfast. We have chefs that also use our product in our food service offering. And then we have around 100 stockists that have challah on their shelves. We're listed with Musgrave in Northern Ireland, so we're available in SuperValues and Centras across the north. And we also work with Henderson's for our food service offering. Yeah, okay. Oh, yes, sorry. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. Perhaps our most sophisticated, or perhaps the most glamorous location that you will see challah these days is in Fortnum and Mason in London. Apparently the Queen shops there, and her favourite challah would be the cranberry and vodka variety. It's just sitting there. And on Friday, we launch our product in Arnott's in Dublin.
Thanks. And so we do feel we are at the stage where we really do want to scale up our business. We feel that we are ready to become an internationally recognised brand. We have looked at the competition. We're following Frank's Hot Sauce, Trackerman's Relish, Ballymaloo. They're all enjoyed on a global scale, and we feel we can follow in their footsteps. To do that, we have outsourced our production again to a larger manufacturer, BRC accredited. So we do feel we're putting the wheels in motion to make sure that we are ready for the next phase of our journey. We do want to be Ireland's next Reggie sauce, although our backstory is we're two women who were living on the edge.
Okay. We're very proud of our branding, and we're very proud of our brand, and we see challah extending. Next thing for us now is following food trends and following the food-to-go markets. So we're investigating sachets and also getting into these meal kit delivery to home boxes that us very, very busy people tend to make use of these days. So the challah brand, I think I'm getting the nod. Yeah. Anyway, really, what I would like to say is please challah for challah, and any questions.
Well done, ladies. I have to say it's a funky brand. Two funky women promoting it.
Oh, you're so nice to say that, because sometimes people go, "You're middle-aged women. Who do you think you are?"
I suppose the thing about these sort of products, they're not high-volume products, so you need to get listed in a lot of stores. Is there any way in which you can get into food service and get it on the table in restaurants so that people see it? Because a lot of retailers, if they put it on the shelf, unless there's something driving it, it becomes what we used to call a shelf warmer. Yeah. So how do you keep it moving on the shelves?
Yeah. Well, right from the very start, we really saw chefs as one of our key endorsers, and in the north we have several restaurants of note who have used our products and cited them. It's challah, Bucky barbecue wings, or ribs, available in the Plough Group in Hillsborough. We have Noel McMeal of Lochgarn Resort, who did the perfect burger using challah caramelised onion. We've several. We bring out our CV of of nice chefs who have done demos, but they truly believe it is a good product. They want to put it on their menus, and so we do see that as driving our brand in a way, but we love when it's in retail with a food service offering, because we don't want the brand to be lost. That is what we feel is going to build our business, is the brand of challah, and so we don't want it to be lost on a menu without being cited, Okay.
Yeah, I'd be similar to Eamon as a retailer. I'm kind of looking at it saying, will you get the shelf space? Will you get the turnover of the product? So I sense going down the catering route might be a better case to get the volume. Where do you position yourself on price points and supply into that network?
Currently, our price is quite high, or it's at the premium end of the marketplace. So in euro, we're price positioned between about 4.75 to €5, well, 4.99, whenever we would say the €5 to 4.99. There are competitors out there, very, very similarly priced, and then also those that little bit lower. The reason we're moving, one of the main reasons that we're moving production is so that we can upscale and produce in larger volumes, and we would look in the next 12 months to be reducing our price by about €1.
The product tastes lovely, so I would, in terms of going through the chef's route and stuff like that, is that something you need to more, like if you get into Fortune and Mason, which is fantastic, and be able to use that, is that something you can lever to expand your sales?
Oh yeah, that's we're quite we're small, but we're really quite active on our social media platforms. So to say that the Fortnum and Mason pictures get wheeled out a lot would be probably an understatement.
I get a sense that a lot of your sales at the moment are kind of a hand sell.
Sorry?
Yeah. Hello? Oh, yeah. Hello? Yeah, I get a sense that a lot of your success at the moment is it's a bit of a hand sell involved in the stores that you're in. Are you open to looking at your packaging and when it goes into the supermarket that you might actually modify it to get it to work harder for you in terms of self-select?
Yeah, we really are focused on, going down a multiple route. We know this is a volumes game in retail. As Paula said, moving manufacturing, I think, will help us. We're rebranding slightly, but we do love our brand. We've got the feedback is sometimes that the brand, gets the customer to take it off the shelf first. But yeah, sorry.
I just think with some small tweaks, you could get it to work a bit harder for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Any advice, very gratefully received. Yes.
Yeah.
We
Free
pay in
advice,
chutney.
free.
You've mentioned really it's all about the brand. So how far do you see the brand stretching? You're currently in the preserves and sauces piece. Do you see it stretching into any other categories?
We really we're looking at all the emerging trends, and the food to go market is something else that we're talking about now because of new manufacturer. I feel that it's opening a lot more doors. The sachets, the HelloFresh, even our lovely gentleman friend before us, the tortillas, things like that, just branching into something that you would have on your table or with friends round, that we can offer a package.
Okay, thank you. Any more burning questions? Okay, ladies, thank you very much.
So Irish Biltong, it's an air-dried, 100% grass-fed Irish beef healthy snack product. It's slightly spiced, thinly cut, very nutritious beef snack with a 69% protein content. It comes from our own grass-fed Irish beef. It comes in two flavors, plain beef and mild chili. So biltong is a tradition. It comes from South Africa. It was a food which they processed for over 400 years and used as nutrition while they were trekking across the plains. The Irish Biltong Company here is owned by myself and my partner John. We produce it ourselves in-house in our fully licensed premises in Naas through our wholesale meat business. The meat business has been in our heritage for many years. My husband comes from a long line of beef suppliers and beef growers, and I come from North Cork, dairy farmer. The meat we use to produce the Irish Biltong is sourced from all locally approved farms, including our own. So biltong is a very nutritious, healthy beef snack. We simply take strips of beef, we marinate them in a spice, we hook them, we hang them in specialised airing cabinets for a number of days. During this time, the air control and the temperature is all monitored, and there's 80% of the moisture is extracted from the product, and you're left with a solid strip of condensed, nutritious beef. This is then unhooked and removed and sliced and bagged. We bag it in 30-gram bags and we bag it in 50-gram bags on a retail basis, and then it's in a larger volume for wholesale. Our product is preparation-free, and it's a source of natural protein. And it's perfect for a healthy snack. It's perfect for that protein hit straight after the gym, after a workout, and it's really, really good as a healthy snack on the golf course. You simply open the pack and there's your natural protein. Biltong is still a relatively new product to the Irish market, but it's known quite wide across the UK and further afield. Our target customer is between the age of 20 and 45, somebody who is interested in health, who's sporty already, who's very aware of nutrition and is very conscious of what kind of products they put into their body. This customer is very savvy with the use of protein in their diet, disposable income, which allows for purchasing high-end protein products such as our own. Protein content and convenience is key to this type of customer. We get to these customers through our marketing of our elite customer following, through nutritionists, through coaches, and through personal trainers. In our development so far in our brand and our product, we've worked heavily with Enterprise Ireland and our local Leo offices for funding and R&D. We have been granted a number of innovation vouchers. I've worked on the Food Academy programme, so we're listed with Musgraves. I've just completed the new Frontiers programme with Enterprise Ireland. We focus heavily and target through social media because as a small company setup, it's the easiest and most affordable route to market. We promote heavily on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and we concentrate on key sports individuals to target. On the back of this, we are now the main sponsor for protein products to the Connacht rugby team, which worked very well for us considering their last Pro 12 season. We also have Mike McCarthy from the Leinster team as our official ambassador for the product. Over the last 9 months, we've won some awards for the product. We've won SME awards, we've won Bank of Ireland Startup Award, and we have lately been granted a Great Taste Award 2016. Rugby wasn't the only sport that we concentrated on initially. We discovered that it was a great product for the golf course, and we have lately partnered with ISM Management Group, Chubby Chandler in the UK, so we are exposed to Danny Willett, Lee Westwood, Darren Clark. We have quite a number of high athlete people on our profile, which is great because the people see it and they want to get what these people are using. We launched our wholesale channel through our own distribution network, and we're now in butchers, cafes and gyms across the country. Our latest development is that we have partnered with a distribution company in Germany, and we have just launched a pilot scheme throughout Germany with Worth Consulting to see how the product works, and our first delivery went out this week. So that's quite exciting for us at the moment. We have, am I done? Yeah. Okay, so the main thing about our product is we have the competitive edge that our product is 69% protein against any other built-on product between here in the UK. We have complete controllability of the product from start, literally, from field, literally to the shelf.
The product, it's gone again. The product is sensational. It really is. Tell us about online. You mentioned that a little bit, just with the opportunity there. What's happening?
We launched an e-commerce website last May under the Irish Built-On Company, and we marketed out strictly through social media because it was the only available market to me at the time. We specifically targeted key profile sports people, and in exchange for free product, they would then endorse the product online. And we started to grow our online presence quite heavily.
And how much of your business is now online?
We have over 50% at the moment is online, but over almost 58% of that is between Northern Ireland and the UK.
And what level of repeat purchase have you got?
We have, we would probably have about a 22-23% repeat purchase at the moment, but those start at buying a 30-gram bag. We have smaller sample bags that we introduce to people. They start by buying a 30-gram bag, and if they're genuine, and the majority of our followers are sports, so a 50-gram bag or a 30-gram bag is no good to them, so they then buy it in kilos or half kg bags. So our repeats are huge, the volume that people actually buy. And we have a 4-month shelf life on it. The product travels very well, so it's very easy to get it out to them.
Thank you.
What are you retailing at for the 30 gram?
Our 30-gram bags are $2.99 on shelves, and our 50-gram bags are $3.99 on shelves.
Can I just ask you a question about formulation? Because, I mean, the positioning of the brand is very clearly as a nutritious health product. Is there any opportunity to reformulate, given that there's quite a number of E-numbers on the back of the pack?
Yes.
Which seems to fight with your positioning.
Yeah. Basically, if you understand, to explain the process, right? So the product is 99% beef. The spices are 1% of the product. We import the spices from South Africa because we wanted to keep the marriage of South African tradition with Irish beef because it works really, really well. we decided as a small company to declare everything on the packaging that was in the spices. So all of those are less than 1% of the overall product, but they're in the spices. We're currently working with Enterprise Ireland at the moment on an innovation voucher to get the spices manufactured here in Ireland if we can, and to get them all natural products.
Okay, thanks.
I'm just trying to understand the market for it. I mean, I love what you've done with your sourcing and the ingredients, and I suppose if I was in the market for biltong, this is the one I'd be buying. But, you know, it's the old phrase, it's, you know, there's a gap in the market, but, you know, is there a market in the gap is the question. So where do I buy this? I don't see it as a lunchtime product. You talked about athletes and golfers. You know, just how big is the market for it?
Well, we started off aiming specifically at rugby because when we found the product originally, it was a South African butcher literally trained us into making the product because we were very adamant that we wanted to keep the authenticity of it. And I started doing some market research, and I discovered that the IRFU were actually importing this product from the UK. This product is very big across Europe, but really wasn't seen in this country. So because we're wholesale meat people by trade and we have our own farm and everything, I thought, you know what, if they can import it, if we can produce it, then that should be an immediate. So rugby kicked us off, and then golf came along. But what I discovered as well, I have 4 children. I struggle to give them healthy products in their snack boxes going to school. Super Value have enabled me to get our product out to a mother like me who's going in doing her shopping and pop it into a child's lunchbox. There's quite a number of areas that this product can fit into. Yes, granted, we're very sports driven at the minute, and it's probably our easiest customer to target, but it works very well. We have deliberately, as I said, targeted high-end sports people who do the advertising for me for very little return, and it has worked very well, but it is starting to grab. The brand is becoming well known almost as a very healthy snack, and you don't have to be a real gym bunny just to eat it.
Okay, that's great.
Well done, a lovely product, and I like your packaging. Interesting, you were making a point about the 69% protein, and yet I don't really see it as a customer on your packaging. If that is something that should be there, it's something I would suggest you should do it. Again, similar to the earlier product about healthy eating, I would definitely say keep it in an impulse area. I'm in a convenience retailer. Yeah. And there's a lot of demand for this type of product. Mm-hmm. People want to eat healthy, but I think if you cluster it around other similar products, it will definitely work. And it definitely gets the taste test. So if the price point is right, I think it'll fly off the shelves. Well done.
Thank you. Just as a point about the 69, the packaging, you know, with every small business, everything is still in motion. Every week there's a change, and we're still almost developing everything that goes on the packaging. We're tweaking things. We still have to put the Great Taste Award on it, which will help us. And yes, we have to get the 69% protein to the front, definitely. Thank you.
Noreen, thank you very much, guys. A round of applause, please, for Noreen. And are we happy with the questions that the Lions asked? We are? Good, okay. Guys, we're going to get you to retire to a table outside and let you deliberate and ask you to come back in about 15 minutes with your decision. Thank you. Lion Joe Barrett has been nominated to make the announcement.
First of all, I'd like to say wonderful products. It was great to see the 4 presentations. And for us, it's great to see the innovation in Irish products. What we did feel was we needed to try and get one product that has the best chance of success because it's a busy marketplace out there. So we've gone for a product that we think will be a great pull in the retail sector. It's by Noreen Doyle, and it's the beef biltong product. There's a great taste test to it, and we think it has great potential. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. Come in. Minister, do you want to come in?